everyone, I'm Maddie from Temple of Geek here at WonderCon, and today I am talking to voice actor Kyle Hebert. How are you today?
Hey, doing groovy. It's good to be at my very first WonderCon. It's awesome to see people back on the con scene, see my colleagues, meet some friends, reunite with other people, and see a lot of new faces too that have made my job so awesome, you know?
Yeah, that's so cool. What is the coolest thing that you've seen here at WonderCon?
Oh my gosh. Well, for me, reuniting with Steve Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, because they moved to Hawaii when the pandemic hit, and they're far away. I don't get to see them nearly as often, so this has been nice to reunite with my friends there. And of course, I've heard nothing but wonderful things about WonderCon, because I've been to San Diego Comic-Con a few times, and I know WonderCon's kind of like Comic-Con light. And it's like, okay, I prefer that because if you put 100,000 plus people in one venue, it's usually kind of crowded. But there's some more room to stretch out and time to have conversations with people, which I absolutely love. And of course, you go broke in no time, seeing everything. I like that I was able to start a new rabbit hole collection. I got a Mandalorian helmet, so now I have to get the Bo-Katan helmet, and then I have to get a Boba Fett.
That's definitely the rabbit hole of collecting things. Once you have this, well, you got to have the next one and the next one. Absolutely, yes.
Yes, I've kept the Funko Pops at bay for the most part. I do collect the ones of my characters because you gotta, But that's a slippery slope. It's kind of like gambling. It's like, oh, but do you have this version? Do you have this variant? Do you have this one? The only difference is a different colored hair. That's the only difference. $500, $15. I could paint it myself with nail polish, but it's still really cool. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, you have been in the voice acting industry for a really long time, and now anime has become much more mainstream than it used to be. How do you feel about, now that anime has become so mainstream and there's so many more fans?
It's one of those pivotal genres that helped turn being a nerd into a cool thing. There's still bullying going on, but I think a lot more people that were maybe closeted anime fans are now understanding and accepting, especially when you come to a Comic-Con. Anime fans don't just go to anime cons anymore. Comic-Con people don't just go to Comic-Cons anymore. There's cross, I almost said breeding, but cross, it's appealing to very, very wide array of things because fans aren't just fans of one particular thing. They can be fans of a lot. There's Marvel and DC fans that totally love Dragon Ball Z, and a lot of Dragon Ball Z or anime people can totally get into mainstream, whether it's movies, TV, animation, and whatnot. And it's like we all come together right now over me. Forget, I don't want to went to a Beatles thing. But we all come together and celebrate a love of something, a community of fans, because everyone's a nerd or a geek about something. God knows, sports fans through the years, the people that wear war paint in the stands and pay thousands of dollars, yet they make fun of us. We're just supporting what we love, just like you guys support sports teams. So what could be wrong with that? And I've seen a shift too with anime cons and pop culture cons. Families are starting to bring their kids, and you're seeing parents involved in cosplay as well. And the parents are showing the shows to their kids instead of parents just dropping the kids off. It's like, I don't understand that anime stuff. It's just Pokemon and blah, blah, blah. Or it's all porn. It's like, no, it's not. Come on, guys. They're seeing tolerance and understanding and acceptance and embracing, which is awesome to see. Yeah, that
is really cool. And as someone who grew up on Dragon Ball Z, my husband and I now show it to our son, and he likes it. He's got his favorite characters, and like you said, it's fun that we can say we understand Pokemon, we understand Dragon Ball Z, and it's like this huge community, and it's really part of our family.
Yeah, you get the influence thing. Like when I was 7 or 8 years old, the word anime didn't exist yet, and the only things were Speed Racer and a couple other shows that had really awkward, silly English dubs. But when you're little, it doesn't matter. And my dad showed me Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, all the classics, and that helped plant the seed for me to become a voice actor. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to voice in animation. I've made a career voicing anime dubs in video games, and I'm hoping to do cartoons because that's where it all started for me. Mel Blanc, voicing all of the classic Looney Tunes stuff. But it all starts somewhere, and I say that's good parenting. My dad takes great pride in saying, I had to give you a good cultural education with Looney Tunes and the Three Stooges. And it's like, thank you, Dad.
Amazing. Absolutely. Well, you definitely just answered my next question, which was, have you always wanted to be a voice actor?
Absolutely. I wanted to do that, and I wanted to be a DJ on the radio. When I say DJ now, people think club DJ. I'm like, no, all of that would be fun too. But to be on the radio when I was growing up, I liked the idea that people could hear my voice, I could entertain them, but they didn't look at me because I was shy and introverted. Just like voice acting. They don't see you. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're behind a microphone and you entertain people, whether it's, in person at a con or whatnot. And I've been able to overcome a lot of shyness through voiceover and through radio, that I feel a lot more confident to address people at a panel, to do interviews, to do anything, to talk to the fans, and just be grateful to the universe and just embrace what I get to do for a living, which is have fun. I strongly recommend it, folks. If you don't like your job, take baby steps toward achieving your dream. And the perfect balance is not being rich, not being famous, making a living doing something you love, being passionate about it.
I love that so much. That is such good advice. Absolutely. Now, how do you prepare for your roles for the different characters? Does it vary depending on who you're voicing?
It does. See, an important aspect to voice acting that maybe people don't understand, they think it's just about doing voices, but it's really about doing acting, being able to build a performance and lift that dialogue off the page. There's not really much preparation. Cold reading and improv are huge things, a skill set that you have to develop as an actor, whether it's on camera, on stage, and certainly in voiceover. You're given bullet points in the audition script about a picture of the character, a little bit about them, and then a script showing a range of emotions. And then who fills in the gaps for you? Because there's no rehearsals, there's no dry runs, there's no watching the episode ahead of time or reading the script together as a cast, because you record individually anyway. The technical skill of matching lip flaps, we can only do one actor at a time. So I have just learned to work on the skill of trusting that the director can tell me the info I absolutely need to know to do the scene, and that they know the overall big picture of how my performance is going to fit against the other performance of other characters in the scene, and they put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. So I think directing would be a really cool thing to do, to kind of orchestrate performances as the actors come in to do that. I don't think there's a lot of prep that can be done, because scripts aren't really normally given in advance, except maybe ahead of time when we're doing a remote session. Ever since the pandemic started, we've been doing a lot of recording from home. A lot of voice actors had to upgrade their home recording setups to do broadcast quality and all that. So I love recording from home. I love being able to say, hey, pants are optional. I don't have to schlep in traffic across town. I can just fall out of bed, go into my walk-in closet, turn on the computer, log in, and I'm ready. Let's voice act today. We're watching the clip right then and there for the first time, preview it in Japanese, and then do the English line. And if it fits, great. You like it, moving on. One take, Jake, awesome. Otherwise, maybe a couple takes, lather, rinse, repeat, move on down the script. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, what has been the most rewarding part of voice acting for you?
I think the rewarding thing, apart from, again, like I was saying earlier, getting to do something you love and make a living at it, is the impact it has on people's lives when you're told, especially face-to-face, about how something you were a part of influenced them or helped them in a rough part of life. That's something you can't anticipate when you're recording. When I'm recording, my job as a voice actor is to give a performance a director likes. I have to please the client and or director that are there in the session. But once it's out there in the ether, and then it comes out, and then social media starts going, I loved your performance as so-and-so, and here's why it means so much to me. That's like icing on the cake right there. Knowing it's like, all right, entertainment is escapism, but it's also therapy, if you think about it. To be able to just pretend for a few minutes that I'm going to escape to a couple other worlds, whether it's gaming, whether it's animation, anime, all sorts of different genres, and artists and musicians help create magic for someone that may be going through a rough patch in their life, and they say, "You're the voice of my childhood," or "You created my favorite song of all time," or "You drew my favorite picture." That is magic. That is magic right there. And it's hard to put into words, but it just means so much. Whether you're hearing from, people who have been soldiers across in Afghanistan, or people who have been incarcerated even, or people dealing with, cancer treatment, or maybe even terminal Make-A-Wish kids. I have talked to people in all walks of life with all sorts of circumstances, and I've been told some truly touching sentiments about that. You can't replicate that. It's an amazing sensation.
That is absolutely incredible. I'm sure that feels so good.
It really does.
Now, my final question is kind of a silly one for you. You are the voice of Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, and you also voice Fat Gum in My Hero Academia. Now, let's take Gohan and put him in the My Hero Academia universe. How would Fat Gum and Gohan get along, do you think?
I think they'd get along swimmingly. Hey, I'm Gohan. Hey, it's me, I'm Fat Gum. Who wants candy? You sound like me. Well, I better sound like you. I'm voiced by the same bald dude. Well, want some takoyaki? Yeah, sure. All I do is eat. And, I study and I take care of my wife and kid, and I'm a better dad than my own dad. Piccolo's my real dad. It's like, hey, dude, I'm not a therapist. I'm a hero, Plus Ultra! I'm like, oh, Plus Ultra, I could get used to that. Can you say Kamehameha? Kamehameha! Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's hang. Takoyaki, that sounds yummy.
That was incredible. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
My pleasure. You too. Thanks for watching.